Okay. Buying a horse isn't a simple. We're gonna keep going. Good. Okay. Buying a horse isn't as simple as everyone assumes it is. Most people think that when you look up a horse online and you like the horse, then you just buy it. But that's not how it works. And if you want to do it the right way, then that definitely isn't it. First things first, you want to research everything. Researching is one of the most important things when it comes to buying a horse. You need to see what the monthly cost is, because even though you may be able to buy the horse, you may not be able to pay for its monthly needs with the salary that you have. This includes food, vet bills, meds, special vitamins and supplements, shampoo, conditioner, brushes, and there's many brushes that go along with that, tack, shoes, a trailer, and so many more other things that I didn't list. One of the biggest purchases besides the trailer and the horse itself is the tack, and I just wanted to give you like an estimate, and this is like a lower end estimate, but a saddle is around $300, the saddle pads like $50, reins are $30, halter and leads is another $30 each. A bit is about $20, stirrups $35, bridle $40, and that, like I said, that's lower end, and that totals out to be around $500. This isn't even including the extra stuff you may need to purchase if you're wanting to be competitive or do any kind of like activity with your horse. So like cross country, show jumping, those kind of things. After extensive research, you'll then need to take lessons for a few months every single week so that you can become more comfortable with a horse. Horseforum.com says, I'd recommend waiting 1 year before buying a horse, and in that year, take lessons. So the more you're around the horse, the better you're going to be with them. WikiHow says, it is hard to understand how big and powerful the average horse is before you meet one face to face. So I know this firsthand because the first time I ever went and rode horses, it had already been saddled up and it was just standing beside me. I was just petting it, patting its neck and everything. And it just stepped over normal. Like it wasn't making like a hard move or anything, but I didn't really realize like their little movements like completely threw me over to the side because I'm so much smaller than the horse. So that's something to be cautious about. Horses can be intimidating if you don't have experience with them. So like I said, the more you're around them, the better off you'll be. Before even the thought of purchasing one, you need to be around them and learn their ways, learn their behavior and how they are and how they move, just so that you're comfortable with it and you don't spook the horse and that you don't allow the horse to spook you. After a few weeks of lessons, then you can lease a horse. And I know that sounds crazy, and I never even knew this was real till I'd done some research. But you can actually lease a horse pretty much like you lease a house. So you can lease two ways. You can either lease a horse full-time or part-time, and that just means that you have the horse and it's pretty much yours, but like if it goes south and you realize that, oh, this isn't for me, then you can give it back and it's still with a really safe home that it can be taken well care of. www.fei.org says leasing often allows riders to ride a quality horse before buying one. So this it gives you a chance to learn and experience a horse even more, and it allows you to see the work you'll be doing when you purchase a horse, because like I said, it's pretty much your horse. So you feed it, you groom it, you change its shoes, all this other stuff. You want to lease a horse for around 6 months before deciding to buy one. 6 months is a good time period to have one so that you have time to see, is this really for me or not? It also allows you time to see if this is going to work out for you in the long run with your family, with your life, if it works with the pace of your life. Take advantage of this time and make sure that you are seeing what kind of horses you like. Do you like a more experienced horse that's already trained? Do you want one that is a bit younger and has a little bit of spunk to it that you can still work with and kind of train it your way? And again, it's your time. Take control of that time and really try to figure out what you like. After those 6 or so months, it's finally time to make a purchase, and you want to check out every site you can find, as well as all of the well-known breeders and breeds of horses. This is when you will also finalize the reason for getting a horse. Your are you getting a horse as a pet? Are you getting one for dressage? Are you getting it for show jumping? Are you getting it to do cross country with? Because that will matter when getting a horse. You don't want to just get a horse that has a background in show jumping and it's been jumping for 10 years and now you're wanting to change it and do dressage, because that's a big change between the two. Before buying, you need to know what you're buying your horse for. Certain breeds may work better in certain areas of competition, and that's what I just said. Like, again, you don't want something that comes from the total opposite end of the spectrum when you're wanting to put it into a sport. Equine Science Center says an inexperienced horse should never be purchased by an inexperienced rider, and I couldn't have said it better myself. Why would you, if you've never ridden a horse before or you just started riding a horse, why would you buy a horse that has not been trained at all and it's 1 year, 2 years old? You wouldn't want to do that because you don't know what you're doing and they don't know what they're doing. Horse Basics 101 says buy a horse on your level. And again, that's just reiterating what I said before. You don't want to be inexperienced and then buy an inexperienced horse because neither of you know what to do. Like, who's going to take command in that situation? And more than likely it would be the horse, and then, a lot of danger there. Again, get what you can handle. No more, no less. And then finally, for your first horse, you really want to stay around a price of around $5,000 because this ensures that if in a year or two your life changes up or something big happens and you just can't take care of it anymore, it's not working anymore, you don't have time for it and to care for it properly, you haven't invested all of your money into it, and you haven't spent your savings on this show stopping horse and then now you're done with it after 2 years. Horses are majestic and they're an amazing animal and they deserve to be cared for the correct way. So make sure that before you just go out and purchase a horse on a whim, that you really sit down and you really think about its well-being and your own and what you can actually handle. You never know, it might just become a part of the family. Thank you.